Good morning, garden friends, and welcome to Tuesday Tip Time. Today, I have a schedule that I end up repotting my houseplants to keep those guys nice and healthy. And I had noticed that my Leaf Joy Proven Winners Philodendron hybrid, the roots are literally coming out of the container. So I am going to get this transplanted into a bigger pot. And this is the thing, the health of your plants are determined based off of, you making sure that you're repotting them, they're getting fed, they're on a good water schedule. And like I said, I have certain plants that I have on a schedule for repotting. And these three, which like I said, is the Proven Winners Leaf Joy, my Calathea, right here, that needs to be repotted. And then also I have my Syndapsis, which is part of the philodendron family. So I'm going to go ahead and get these guys potted up. And and this is the thing, sometimes when you end up repotting, the plants will go through a relative shock. Don't worry about it. Just keep on doing what you normally do when it comes, to your house plants, to ensure that, you're minimizing the stress. Now, I'm actually going to be using the Miracle Grow indoor potting mix for these plants. This is pretty much what I use for all of my house plants, and to make sure that they end up having a really good start. The other thing that you want to do, because I am transferring these guys into bigger pots, make sure if you had other plants in them to go ahead and clean out. All of these guys have been washed in bleach and rinsed out to just ensure that, there are no possible diseases that could end up impacting the new plants that you're going to be placing into the containers. So I'm going to first start with the Leaf Joy, because I do think definitely needs to get into the pot, seeing that these roots are so good. And, I want to make sure that, it continues to grow like it's supposed to. So let's go ahead and get the pot that these guys are going to be in. Okay. And the one thing too is you want to also make sure you have a good drainage system. This pot here has a reservoir that has a block to where the roots will not be sitting in water, and it'll be able to flourish. So like I said, with your house plants, you just want to make sure that you are taking those steps to keep them nice and healthy and vibrant, so that you don't have to worry about your plants not being successful. And sometimes what I'll do, I'm not going to do it on this one, because I think even though the roots have come out of the container, normally what I do is I also rinse off the root system. And that's only if, I don't know if you guys have ever had that white powder that ends up being on your plants, like on the soil. When that situation happens, that's when I do rinse off the roots. But these guys are really good and solid. Look at that. So this definitely tells me that I need to get this into a bigger pot so that these roots do not get root bound. And I'm just gonna agitate it just a little bit, you know. And then too, the fact that the top is a little wobbly tells me that I definitely need to place this in a bigger pot. So let's go ahead and get this in here. Nice and centered, and then work my soil around to make sure it's nice and covered. And then too, this is the time that, you know, if you see anything that is dead, go ahead and get that clipped off to make sure that it does not spread. And then this guy requires filtered sun. So these are upstairs in our bedroom, because it does end up getting filtered sun. And like I said, I'll water these, and because this already has fertilizer in it, I'm probably gonna wait a good week or two before I go ahead and feed it with any type of fertilizer. Okay. Put this tag back in there. All right, so the next one is going to be my philodendron. And then the tray, the water basin for the bottom of this is going to be put on here once I get the philodendron moved into its new pot and soil. And what that does, like I said, it allows the roots to have room to grow so that they don't get root bound, but then it also allows the plant to continue to grow. Let's see how this is. Okay. So it's just some little dead leaves in there. I'll get those guys pulled off. Go ahead and get this guy planted so that it has more room for its roots. Get nice and packed in there, not too tight, but just to ensure no air pockets. And then once I water it, you know, I might need to add a little more soil in here. And then the one thing that I do, especially with repotting, I will sit these guys in a basin of water so that it draws up from the bottom instead of pouring it on top. All right, and then my last one is my calathea. I so love this. I love how it has the burgundy color on the back and the really nice coloring and striping of the leaves. Now the other thing that I'll do is I'll take a moist paper towel and then just wipe off all of the leaves, just, you know, which that ends up helping the plant to be able to have good breathing. So get these guys planted up. Like I said, I'll end up soaking, watering from the basin. Here. Oh, yeah. Give that guy more room. Get it packed down in there. Nice contact with the new soil. And then just work the soil around here. And I so love my planter thing to be able to catch any loose soil, and then I can just dump it back into the bag. Okay. All right, let me go get a paper towel so I can go ahead and get all these leaves wiped off. And like I said, this is just to make sure, you know, any dust in the house is not restricting oxygen to the plants, and then they look nice and clean and healthy without having that dust on them. And then, like I said, these guys are going to be submerged in a basin of water so that they can be watered from the bottom. And I tend to do it that way because I think it goes directly to the roots. You don't have sitting water, and it just ends up doing well. All right, guys, I hope you found this to be informative. And like I said, you know, just like with our outdoor plants, we need to also take care of our indoor plants. And like I said, I choose to have them on a schedule. Now, mind you, I have over 30 houseplants, so I don't try to do them all at the same time. Like I said, I put them on a schedule to know that I need to transplant these. And then this is the thing. A lot of it depends on how it's growing. You know, if I see it's grown outside of the current container, that is a determining factor for me to go ahead and transplant. If I see it's struggling, you know, those are going to be things that I'm going to question. Hey, what's going on with the plant? Just to make sure there's no disease, make sure it's not root bound. And as you guys saw, none of the plants were root bound, you know, except for, and I wouldn't even say root bound, except for the Lovejoy. They just told me I needed to put it in a bigger container. Well, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner, and take that time to make sure you are taking care of your houseplants. I'll see you next month.